Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Manager, City Council. My name is Tony. I understand there is a proclamation or an ordinance proposed by the City Council based on last City Council meeting to support a ceasefire in Gaza. War is hell. As a veteran with over 30 years of public and dedicated military service and multi-combat deployments, including Operation Desert Shield and Storm, Operation Joint Endeavor and Guard, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, I understand firsthand what it's like to serve in a combat environment. Unless you have experienced war, you have no idea the hardships, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that all involved endure, especially service members. With that said, let me remind you of some key events regarding this public statement and why it should not be supported. Today marks a grand milestone for the people of Israel. Over 6 months since October 7th, the one-day Holocaust in which so many Israeli people were brutally murdered, raped, burned alive, and taken hostage. The worst slaughter of Israelis since the Holocaust of World War II, when over 6 million Jews were slaughtered and killed. Let me say that number again, 6 million. Let's not forget the thousands of Israelis have had to leave their homes in northern Israel due to the attacks by Hezbollah. With Passover approaching, the holiday of freedom and exodus from Egypt, the citizens of Israel in a dire fight for their freedom to live securely in their ancient homeland. I suspect that most of you have never been to Israel, yet you're proposing and supporting the ceasefire. Thanks to the incredible courage and heroism of the brave men and women of the Israeli Defense Forces, Israel is fighting back, and with God's Hashem's help, they will win. Let's keep in mind who started this war, Hamas, who was designated as a terrorist organization by the US and other countries. By supporting a ceasefire, you let Hamas off the hook for the atrocities they committed against Israel on October 7th. If you look who was marginalizing the people of Gaza, it's Hamas, not Israel. Considering all the money, resources, and aid that Gaza has received over the years from the international communities in the billions, maybe even the trillions, and has been squandered supporting Hamas initiatives, i.e. digging tunnels, paying terrorists and martyrs, buying and smuggling munitions to attack Israel, and enriching themselves. As the leadership of Hamas are billionaires, and many of them don't even reside in Gaza. Instead, they live in luxury in the country of Qatar. Hamas enables Palestinians by using them as human shields, stealing aid, and employing hospitals and human facilities such as schools and military capabilities, and ignoring the rule of law. Hamas is engaged in a PR campaign to magnify the criticism of Israel by failing to distinguish between civilians and combatants in casualty reports. You need to take with a grain of salt the casualty numbers being reported by the Gaza Health Ministry, as the ministry is controlled by Hamas. The U.S. must signal to the world and its allies that it unequivocally defends Israel and is right to ensure that Hamas will no longer be a threat to Israel, and all the hostages must be released. Anything else will yield more death, disaster, hardship, and destruction in the near term and for the foreseeable future. So if you're going to advocate for a ceasefire in Israel, I would ask that you include the resolution, proclamation, the release of all the Israeli hostages that were taken by Hamas on October 7th. I would also encourage to condemn Hamas, who started this war, as well as the PIG.
Okay. Sorry, your time is up. Thank you.
I think after serving 30 years in the military, I should be able to finish my statement.
If you do it quickly,
I will.
please.
Just this weekend, Iran launched an unprecedented attack on Israel, using dozens, hundreds of drones and missiles. Unfortunately, with the grace of God, Israel is able to defend itself and its citizens from the brazen attack. Let me ask you a question. What would you have done had you been in Israel? This is what Israel and its citizens endure on a constant basis from Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and now Iran. I would highly encourage you all to support Israel and not support or pass the ceasefire resolution in Gaza. As it is stated in the book of Genesis, those who bless Israel will be blessed, those who curse Israel will be cursed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on that row?